I'm Pete Daniel, and I live in the Tamar Valley on the border of Devon and Cornwall. Join me on my adventures in the Tamar Valley as I try and show you some of the wildlife I love to see and film. As well as other projects me and my family undertake on our daily routines. Well, join me this week as I go back to the valley to see how my peregrines is getting on with their chicks. I go back to the badger set to see if I can film anything of the fox cubs that I got on my trail cameras a few weeks ago. I go down to the farm to see if I can show you anything of some nesting birds before I go back to the barn to see if I get anything on my trail cameras of the barn owl. It's an earlier start for me today to get down to the valley to try and beat the weather. So fingers crossed for that, because there's something I really want to try and show you. Right, okay, well I'm making my way down to the valley this morning. I want to get to the peregrine's nest. It's early, it's 6:15, and the reason I'm coming down so early is because there's heavy rain forecast from mid-morning. So I want to try and get down early, get set up, and get some shots of the chicks in the net. But we've already had a few light showers on the way down and it's not looking too good around me. So hopefully I can get down there, get set up, get some shots and get home before the rain comes. So fingers crossed. Well, when I got to the nest site this morning, the parent birds are still here. So I had to wait 10-15 minutes before they disappeared to go off hunting. But now I've got into position, I've set the camera, I'm looking right into the nest. And I can see the chicks, but they're behind that sycamore branch again. So I'm hoping if I sit tight and wait, one or two of the chicks will hopefully get up and start moving around the nest site. And that'd be really, really good if I can get that shot to show you. Oh look, there you are. The chick's up. It's coming down the nest. It's brilliant. Okay, well that was brilliant. I managed to get that shot of the chick moving around the peregrine's nest. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to disappear because the rain's coming down and I don't want to get too wet. Well, that was great to see my peregrine chicks doing so well and growing away so fast. It shan't be long until they look like proper little birdies. So I'll be back to see them again soon. But I'm off home now as the weather's coming wet and I need to get another early start tomorrow morning. Right, okay. I've got to talk a little bit quiet. I come down the woods about 6:15 this morning and set up and I've been sat here. It's coming up now. Well, it's dinner time, it's 10 to 1. And what I'm trying to do is I was trying to film the fox cubs that me and Elsie found on the trail cameras about 2-3 weeks ago. And I've been here several hours now. I've not seen anything, no signs of anything at all, no movement, no nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my gear here and I'm going to go over to the badger set where they were found and I'm going to see if there's any signs of them being there at all. But it isn't looking very hopeful. Right, okay, well, I've just got over to the badger set where we've seen the fox cubs on the trail cameras about 2-3 weeks ago, and already the signs ain't looking very promising. I mean, you can see the badger set here, look. Okay, they were coming out the hole at the back there. That's where the fox was using for a den, but there's no signs of any fresh cub muck anywhere on the floor at all. There's a few old feathers here. It looks like a magpie's been out by the fox, and we've got some pheasant feathers down here, but they all look quite old. And the other thing is, so all the bluebells around, and then they're looking proper, but if there was fox cubs and they was out here playing and running around and rolling around, those bluebells would be squat over, and they're all standing upright and looking really, really nice. But it doesn't look like there's any signs of the fox cubs. Now what I think's happened is, I think the vixen's moved them on. The vixen will have 2 or 3 dens around the area, and if she feels that her or the cubs are threatened, she'll move the cubs on to a safe place. Okay, now she may have scented me on my trail camera when I set it up, or she may even have seen me when I come back to pick the trail camera in. I ain't too sure, but I think that vixen has moved the cubs on, and that's a shame, because I really, really wanted to try and film some fox cubs to show you this year. Well, that's a little bit disappointing, not being able to film any of the fox cubs for you to see, but I shan't give up on that, and I shall keep looking for some. And just when I thought I'd wasted a morning, I had a really nice surprise. Right, okay, I've just come out of the wood from the badger set after trying to see the fox cubs. As I come up over the top of the hill, I look up to the top field and I can just see a roe deer, a roe doe walking across the top field. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my mask back on and get my face covered up, okay? And I'm going to try and get a little bit closer and see if I can get some shots to show you this. Because next month, in the month of May, the roe deer should be having their babies. So hopefully that deer is pregnant and she's going to have a baby fawn, and hopefully I'll be able to show you that as well, and that'd be absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm going to have to leave my tripod here, but I'll see what I can do. It's going to be a bit tricky, mine. Oh, she goes. There's the roe deer. She is just hiding in the hedge. You can just pick her out. Oh, she's looking under the branch. She knew I was here, but she didn't know what I was. She's very curious. She didn't go very far. Just went back into the edge of the wood. Well, do you know what? That was absolutely brilliant. That's made my day a little bit better. Bit disappointed I couldn't show you the fox cubs this morning, but to see that, it's fantastic, because that means now seeing that roe deer in fawn means that I've got a chance to show you a baby deer, and that would be absolutely brilliant. That was great to see the roe deer in fawn. That means I may have a chance to show you some baby roe deer later on next month. But now it's time to get back down to the farm to try and get some shots of some nesting birds for you. Right, okay, well I wanted to try and show you some chicks in my bird boxes back at the garden this year, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And the reason being is the birds stopped building the nest, and I think that was because a sparrowhawk had one of the parent birds, because I've seen the sparrowhawk around the gardens a fair bit. And then the other morning I come up and I found that there was a sparrowhawk kill on the bird table, and unfortunately all I could find that was left it was of a blue tit, and I think that was what the bird was. It was nested in my boxes. I think that's why the birds have stopped building the nest, which is a shame, a real shame, because I wanted to try and show you some chicks in those boxes. But a month ago I came down to the farm into Dad's workshop and I set up one of the cameras, because every year we get birds coming back and nesting, and those birds are the swallows. And I've just put the camera on and I can show you some birdies in the nest. It's absolutely brilliant. You have a look at this, look. So there you are, you can see the chicks in the nest. It's absolutely brilliant. I can see at least one, there's at least 4 in there that I can see. That's fantastic. Oh, hang on. Oh, parent birds come back. Look at that, look, feeding. That's fantastic. Look. Yeah, there's 4 I can see. Oh, and the other parent bird. There's 5. There's 5 chicks in the nest. It's absolutely brilliant. There's 5 chicks in that nest. And off he goes. Oh, that's fantastic. What a brilliant shot. I've got both the parent birds coming back to the nest and feeding the chicks. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh, fantastic. I wanted to try and show you chicks in the nest, and I've gone and done it. And it's the swallows. Absolutely brilliant. Look. So there you are. I've managed to go and show you some chicks in the nest, and that's absolutely brilliant. Now these swallow chicks, they must be 2 or 3 days old. I've missed the birds sitting on the eggs because I've been away for a few days. I haven't been able to get down here. But what I'll do now is I'll come back and monitor this nest as much as I can and try and show you the birdies growing up. And I may even, fingers crossed, get them fledging the nest. That'd be absolutely brilliant. But if this wasn't good news enough, there's something else I want to show you. Another bird nesting in a swallow's nest, but it's not a swallow. So I'm going to take the laptop over there and set it up with the other camera that I took out one of the bird boxes up the garden. And I want to show you, this is something real special. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Right, okay, well this nest I found by pure accident. The nest is just the other side of the wall up in one of the beams, okay? Now you can see it's a swallow's nest, but if you look around the top, it's all built up with moss and grass and everything. A certain little bird has taken over this nest and used it for itself. You can't see any chicks in a minute because they've been tucked back inside. But we'll just sit and wait. And the parent bird should come back and you'll see it. There you go, look, there she is. Absolutely brilliant. A little Jenny Wren, look. Isn't that fantastic? Look, see the chicks come out the nest, look. Absolutely brilliant, that is. Absolutely brilliant. And I found this by accident. Like I said, I was looking for the swallows and I come in the corner of my eye, it just caught a little wren coming up. And I thought, where's that going to? And then I heard the chicks cheeping. And I thought that was brilliant to see. So I got a camera on that as soon as I could when the parent bird was away looking for food. But I think that's fantastic. Now these chicks, it ain't going to be very long before they're fledging the nest. So to get a shot of that, I was really, really happy. It's brilliant. Well, that was great to see, especially that little Jenny Wren using the swallow's nest. Fantastic. But now I'm off to the barn to check my camera to see if I got any results of the barn owl. Well, I've just got to the barn. I'm just going to put my camera on and just see what happens. Just in case there's anything in the barn owl there, because there were signs here last time. Oh yeah, there. Oh, it's so quick. Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, the barn owl just, oh, that's fantastic. Well, do you know, that was brilliant. I never expected that. I took a gamble and put the camera on just in case there was some of the barn owl here. So I want to get in here now, get my trail camera and get out of here. I don't need any more evidence that the barn owl's here. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got some decent shots on the trail camera. But already just coming into the barn and looking around, I can see there's lots of evidence. Down on the floor here, we've actually got barn owl feathers. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it, eh? Absolutely beautiful. And then down here, there's lots of pellets on the floor. Last time I come up, there was only 2 or 3. Now I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 pellets. That's absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm not going to hang around. I'm going to get up, get my trail camera off at A-frame and get out of it and let the barn owl be. That's absolutely brilliant. Right, okay, I've got to talk a little bit quiet. I was just walking back to the van from checking the barn owl camera. And as I'm walking back through the long grass of the silage field, something caught my eye down beside the edge. So I've managed to get myself into position, looking out into that silage field, and hopefully, fingers crossed, if I wait long enough, I'll be able to show you what that is. It's something I wanted to show you earlier this year. If I can do that, it'll be brilliant. Well, how about that for an afternoon, eh? That was absolutely brilliant. I went up to the barn to check the trail camera to see if I had anything of the barn owl on the camera. I get to the barn, I took a gamble. I put my camera on and out come the barn owl. I got a shot of it. Very, very quick and nothing special, but I managed to see it. And that was fantastic to know that the barn owl's here. And to see all that evidence on the floor, the pellets and everything, that's fantastic. So hopefully next year we may get some barn owls nesting in the box, and that'd be absolutely brilliant. But then to come back out the barn and walk down across the silage fields and to see the fox cubs, that was fantastic, because that's something I wanted to show you earlier in the year. And I didn't think it was going to happen after the disappointment in the back of the wood. But to see that, absolutely brilliant. Right, I can go home now a happy man. That's fantastic news. Well, that was fantastic to see the fox cubs. And to see the barn owl, that was absolutely brilliant. Fantastic sight. And when I got home to check the trail cameras, I saw this, and I wasn't disappointed. Well, join me next week as the busy time of year starts in the Tamar Valley, and I go down looking for a certain baby animal in the long grass. I go back to the woodpecker's nest to see how they're getting on and see if there's any sign of chicks out the hole yet. I go down to the river to try out my new camera for something that I haven't done before I go back down to the Peregrines to see how they're doing, because it must be nearly time for them to leave the nest.